this is Tranisha Cottrell, and today I wanted to talk about the devil you know. And first off, let me say Merry Christmas. So, today is Christmas. The video didn't come out at 7 like it usually does because I was spending time with my family and I wanted to make sure I could really just take it in. I didn't want to just do this, and when I had other things that I planned on doing today, I really wanted to make sure I served in my purpose, but I also wanted to cherish the time that I do have with the people that I love. So I do apologize for the video coming up a little later. It's just, it's Christmas. And so I wanted to make sure that I took in every single second and moment that I could today. And so I still wanted to serve in some sort of way. I don't know if this is going to be a long video or if this is just going to be something that's short and sweet and to the point, but whatever flows is what it's going to be. And so I was thinking of naming this video The Devil You Know. And also, another title that it could be is Settling for What You're Comfortable For. So we'll see what happens, but one of those will probably be the title. And so what made me think about that is today, I'm just going to be real. This is the second Christmas that I've had being single. And I know most people will say, oh, it's a breeze, it's easy, I did this, I did that. Like, I had a chock full day. I had things that I had to do. I had people that actually love me, that I love, that I got to spend time with. So it's not that I was missing anything, that there was anything that I was at lack of. However, today this Christmas hit different. And I don't know if it's because I have other personal things going on or if it's just like reality setting in. I don't know, but I really was feeling some type of way. And it's so funny how sometimes we can get so comfortable in something that's toxic or something that's not good for us that we feel like, oh, if we could just go back to being normal, or maybe we'll just settle for this or whatever else. And, I'm not going to say like I'm the only person who ever thought of that. There's so many people in toxic relationships, or so many people that are in relationships, and you can look at them and say, I don't understand how they're putting up with that. I don't understand. If I was her, I would do this, or I would never let someone do this to me. Like, there's always someone that has this idea in their head of how they would handle a situation because they're on the outside looking in. Now, we would hope, like for me, my hope is that everyone has a peaceful, joyous life. I mean, there's going to be trials and tribulations, but they really seek to find God, and God guides them to the person they're supposed to be with. They don't just settle for anything, that they do put forth an effort and they continue to choose each other. Something like that is what I hope for other people. And so when I think about other people being in situations, I made so many bad choices in my life. When I see people make a mistake or choose to stay in certain relationships or do like different things, I don't just think, oh, I would never be her I would never put up with this. I could never see myself do this. I don't ever want to do that or whatever else it is. I don't ever think of that being my reaction to that situation. When people start to say stuff, and I know people like get on me so hard for doing this, but I like to play, I like to be like kind of an advocate in those situations because I'm not in her shoes. I'm not in his shoes. When I have a friend or someone who's like a family member or something going through something, I can't just say, I would never, because we have all been in a situation where we have never thought that we would ever allow ourselves to be just putting up with that or settling for that. And we've done it because when you get in a situation, it's totally different. It's not just like you're only thinking with your mind, your heart's in it now. There's different emotions that you feel, and it's not just like a quick snap judgment that you can make. It's not just like in theory. It's not just like you've never met this person's a complete stranger, and okay, oh well. It's kind of like you have some sort of hope, or you have like some kind of, you want to believe that something could be better, like something could be better than whatever else it was. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having hope. I think that where we go wrong is we put an unrealistic fantasy or an idealization of what a person could be when that's not who that person is in their core. And so we start to determine this is who that person is, and we don't know that person. That person could be like the person on how to bleep, who to bleep did I marry, like it could be anybody. And sometimes we just feel like, okay, we've met this person who's pretending to be something that they're not, and this is who they are. But we don't really know that person. We don't really know what their struggles are. And sometimes it could be a perfectly good person. They just could not be graced for you. Like the things that I went through in the past, it's got to be somebody who's completely patient. Like someone who doesn't have patience, who doesn't want to pursue me or take the time to get to know me, or feel like they want to be gentle with me, probably will never get to know me, because they're going to have to be a real special type of person to deal with me. It's not just going to be anybody. It can't just be any Tom, D, or Harry that just comes along that's just going to be all of a sudden just, make me be vulnerable. I'm going to have to really be in a comfortable position with someone who's actually being intentional. And it's only going to take somebody who's really intentional to be able to get to that point. And so it's just, oof, yeah, this Christmas hit different. I'm not gonna sit here in front. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like, oh yeah, it was all good. I did great. Like last Christmas, I handled it like a boss. Like you don't even understand. I didn't even think about how I handled it last Christmas. I just enjoyed the moment. I really spent time with the people I love. I really just did my own thing. I mean, I had no expectations. I had no expectations this Christmas either. But last Christmas, I just was good. I didn't feel sad. I didn't feel alone. I didn't like all in one. I didn't feel lonely. I didn't feel insecure. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel any kind of negative outside thought. I didn't have any thought of wanting something different. I didn't have any thought of maybe feeling like I want something else. Like I just felt like content with where I was. And this Christmas, I don't know, it just kind of hit me like, oh my gosh, like, wow, this is different. It was different last Christmas. I don't understand why I was really like feeling some type of way this Christmas, but it's got to be the extra personal stuff. I don't know, because it's not that I want anything. I mean, I do want something eventually. It's not that I was like longing for something or something like that. I just could really feel like it really hit me like, oh my gosh, like. But I don't know. Like I said, I've been through all the holidays single, so I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's because like I finally got to a spot where, or a place in my life where I feel like, okay, I might be okay with giving someone a chance, or being like in a situation where if like God presented someone to me, then I would be willing to give someone an opportunity or something like that. And before I was just like, absolutely not, H no, like I'm just gonna be by myself for the rest of my life. And so now that like I'm thinking differently, it's really making me feel some type of way. Like it doesn't feel good. It feels real crappy and I don't know what's happening. It's so weird. And I don't know. It's so strange. Like I'm not even this type of person. It's so weird. Mm, it's crazy. It's so crazy. I don't know what's happening, but I was I really had a moment today where I was just like I should just settle and then just be with Bob. And I was like, nah, I'm not about to do that. But I did have like as the sentence came out as soon as the period hit, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. But I did have a moment where I thought about it and I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't be doing that with my life. Like I got other things I have to do. I can't just there's other things, other people that are depending on me. There's other younger people that are looking up to me. And I absolutely cannot be the type of person who just shows them that, oh yeah, you just lower your standards and then just be with someone because that's what you're used to. You just go ahead and take this person back, or you go ahead and be with this ex, or whatever else it is, just because I don't want to do that. And it's hard because I want to do things the right way. Like people make it seem like it's so easy, like, oh, you get saved, you find God, and God just presents the person into your life when the time is right. And that's so true. But you don't know about the waiting season. You don't know how patiently you have to wait for the appointed time. You don't know that it's going to be difficult because what you're used to is settling, or it's lowering your standards, or putting up with toxicity or being toxic or whatever else. And so when you try to do things the right way, it really takes sacrifice and obedience. Like you really have to be disciplined. You really, really, really have to be disciplined. And it is not easy at all. Like I look around sometimes and I see my friends or people that I know and they just kind of do the easy way and they're just like, "Oh yeah, I'm talking to this." I'm not trying to put my friends, let's just say acquaintances, because my close friends don't do this, but people that I know of do this. So let's not call them a friend category, but I just think of people that I'm cool with as a potential friend or whatever else. So I will have like acquaintances and things, and they will just be like, "Oh, yeah, I got this guy that I'm with, but I'm gonna just go ahead and talk to this other guy. This guy wants to be with me, so I'm just gonna, like, pretend like I want to be with him, or I'm just going to like whatever, just do whatever I can to manipulate the situation to my advantage, and I'm just going to do whatever I want." This is just an acquaintance, not a friend, because my friends don't do that. We believe in respecting other people and not like just using people for stuff like that, because we don't want that kind of energy coming back to us. We don't want to reap what we sow, you know what I'm saying? So like, but yeah, I'll hear other women say that, and it's so easy to do something like that, to just be like, okay, take whatever you could get, just like kind of manipulate the situation, just like the guy that that likes you, just go ahead and be with him just because it's easy, or like, something like that. Just it's easy to do things like that, but the things that really are truly worth it take effort. They take real work. You can't just it's not just an easy thing. It's not just like, oh, let me just walk a couple steps and all of a sudden, there we go, like you're done. Like no, you got to walk a couple steps, jump a couple hurdles, crawl, do a couple army crawls. You got to like scrape a couple knees. you you gotta not eat a whole bunch of food that you want to eat. You gotta be really exercising. Like, you can't just quit whenever it gets hard. You gotta keep on moving. Like, it's a lot. It's hard. It's not easy. It really takes discipline to be able to do that. Like, it's so easy, and then, the adversary will make it so easy because he will set all these people right in front of you. Like, yeah, you could easily just do this, and that's it. That's all you got to do. And you might think about it for a split second, and then you're like, I'm trying to be a good person. I want to do the right thing. I don't want to take the easy way out. Like, I know it's hard right now, but I don't want that type of energy. I don't want that type of bad vibe on me. Like, I don't want anything to be like, I don't want to reap anything that's bad like that, especially when I'm intentionally doing something to take advantage of someone else or manipulate the situation, or just be settling or lowering my standards for something that I don't want just because it's there. Like, I don't want to do that. There was a time when it would have just been easy to just go back to the ex, just to be there, just because, I could be. And I really, I knew that God had better for me. I just couldn't. I couldn't just go back and settle for something like that. I couldn't just, even though it would have been easy to stay in a comfortable box, to just, the devil that just to be in that space where you can kind of predict everything, because you know how a person is going to be, you know how they're going to move, you know that they're not going to do all of these things. And so it's just like, okay, I know they're never going to do any of this stuff, but I know who this person is. I don't have to go out and try to find out who another person is or try to make something else happen. And then it's so funny because I was talking to my therapist last week, couple days ago. Yeah, it was last week. I was talking to my therapist last week, and we were talking about, healthy relationships and just like things that I'm doing to heal and things that I'm doing to be a better person and things that I'm trying to do for like self-care, and just like to have that time, that space and time that I can do something for myself that will pull away from, all of the other things going on in my life, and how I'm going to handle certain situations and things like that. And as we talked about it, she said something that I think would help other people. And I'm not just trying to give it away. I just feel like if there's something that I learned that helped me, I'm hoping that it will help someone else. And so I never thought about it like this, ever. I didn't even, this never even crossed my mind. But she said that if you don't learn like different things about yourself, if you don't learn what it is that you're looking for in certain things, or how it is that you want to be, and what things are considered healthy and unhealthy, and what it is that you like you're actually looking for, and what to look out for that could actually be something that's normal that you may think is unhealthy, then you will go into every relationship thinking that every relationship is like the toxic relationship. When someone does something that's familiar to the old relationship, it'll be a trigger that will make you feel like this person is exactly like the other person, and the other person could be completely healthy. But because you didn't determine what was considered healthy, you think that every person is toxic, or you think every person is going to be unhealthy, or is going to be something that hurts you in the long run. But it's not going to be every person. So she's giving me all this material because you have to do the work. You can't just like hear someone say something and then be like, oh, I'm healed. No, you got to put forth an effort. It takes a real work to do all of the things that you have to do in life. Anything that's worth it is going to take work. And it's so funny when she said that, because I started thinking about one of the people that I knew of, and they would do things that would kind of be like triggering for me, and I would do things that would be triggering for that person. And in the beginning, I never even thought of any of the things that I was doing being triggering for them, or like what it was. I just thought that this was just like personality or something. I don't know. And when my therapist said that, it really made me think about that moment, and how like, because like if you're hurting, sometimes you don't think about other people hurting. Sometimes you don't think about what other people have went through. You're thinking about, I got to protect myself. And what can I do to protect myself? What can I do to not fall for this person? What can I do to try to like put up this wall so I don't like this person, or so I can keep my distance so I don't get too attached, or I don't like try to like be vulnerable or anything like that. And so I'm thinking about all these things that I'm doing, but I'm not thinking about how it affects the other person. I'm not thinking about the fact that they've been through the same type of pain that I've been through. I'm not, and this is why like I made that video about guys having emotions too, because sometimes we forget, because a lot of them put on a brave face. They really make it seem like nothing ever affects them. Like they don't hurt, like they don't get sad, like nothing ever gets to them. And so sometimes I forget that they have emotions too, and that, I think that when a man can cry, it is the most. I'm not going to use S word. I don't want to be doing the most, but it's super attractive to me. But that's because I'm a different type of woman. A lot of the things that I like are like my friends or like other women that I know will be like looking at me like, oh my gosh, that's so Nisha. Like, I'm not a TV show. I don't know why you're saying that, but yeah, I like weird stuff. And so so they're always like, really? So you just want him to just be over in the corner crying? And I'm just like, why they gotta say stuff like that though? Like, no one said that, like, if you drop a pin, he's just gonna bust out in tears. Like, no one's talking about that. I'm talking about real emotions. Like, if somebody's hurting, if somebody's feelings are actually hurt, if someone passes away, if, something happened in life, if they're upset about something, I would rather them be sad about it in the moment and really feel comfortable expressing themselves than to blow up or like get angry, or like just be silent, completely silent. Like, communication is super big to me. So if someone just it feels like they can't express themselves, that makes me feel uncomfortable. Like, okay, well, I'm not doing whatever it is that I need to do to make this person feel comfortable. So obviously, like, I don't know. It just makes me feel some type of way, even though my friends are kind of like, oh, well, I need a guy that's like this, and this. And I'm like, okay, that's good for you. That's not what I want. And so it's just one of them things. But yeah, yeah. And so, yeah, I just think it's so important to like really just allow people to be who they are, and to like really look out for like, hire a therapist yourself. Do what you got to do to heal yourself, because if you are not in therapy, if you don't have God in therapy, you're missing something in a life coach. Because therapy helps me deal with the past. so I can deal with any childhood trauma, any issues that I had in the past relationships, past work relationships, and I mean work relationships like business wise, like the way that I handle myself, the way I assert myself in different situations. So if I have to make a deal, or if I'm like signing a contract or something like that, then I won't just be like, oh, let me not say anything. No, I need to ask for what I need and what I deserve, because I can't just be quiet and just be like, I'm gonna just accept the bare minimum. I have to accept what it is that I deserve. And I have to speak up for it, because people can't read my thoughts. And so I have to be willing to do that in therapy. When I am reading the Bible, God is healing my soul. He is helping me feel full in areas that I was empty. He's helping me know that He's got everything covered in the future. Like, He could use whatever it is that I went through in the past that the therapist is helping me heal through to benefit the future, to help someone else's testimony, to help other people see that they don't have to be perfect to come to Him, to help other people see that, it's normal to have to go through some of the things that they went through. And it doesn't mean that they're stupid or naive. It just means that they didn't know. And maybe if they did know and they got comfortable in the situation, they're not alone. They're not the only person who did that. And it's going to be okay. Like, you have to, when it's enough for you. That's something that my aunt used to always say when I was coming up. She's like, I would never tell anyone to leave a relationship. What I would tell them is they know when it's enough for them. They know when that's it. And she's like, she would always say, I'm here for you whenever you need me. And that was like the most comforting thing ever, because people always try to tell you what they will do, or, oh, if I was you, I wouldn't. And then it like blocks off this area of people that you can run to or talk to, because you feel like every person is just going to say leave them, or every person is just going to say, I wouldn't do this. And, like give their 2 cents when you just want to vent. And so that's one of the things I always respected about my aunt. She's always been like super honest in the most loving, softest way ever. And she's not like coming at it from a judgmental place or like trying to make you feel badly. She will tell you straight up, but she will tell you with love. And so that's like one of the coolest things that I love and respect about her the most. And so, so you have therapy and God. And then the last thing is I want to say be willing to do the work. I can't remember what the third one is. I'm really drawing a blank, because I feel like I could be honest in this moment. I really just felt super drained, like emotionally drained today. I don't know. I really feel like it has to do with the personal stuff that I went through, because this holiday has just been different. I know, every video, like, what? Really? Oh my gosh. Okay. I need to get like a Q-tip so I can do it the professional way, when they got the little Q-tip and they look all fancy, like, oh, it's about to be a tear that falls down. I don't know how they do that. Like, how do they use a Q-tip? Because I'm so like goofy that I feel like I would end up with a piece of lint off of the Q-tip stuck on my eyelash, and then I'd be sitting there like the whole video trying to get the Q-tip off. Yeah, I would just be trying to move it out. Like, where in the world? What in the world? How in the world do they do that though? Like, I feel like even though you can't tell in this video, my lashes are like so like long. They don't look fake long, but real, like when real people have long eyelashes, that's what my eyelashes look like. But I've been using mascara so long, like I don't know if you could see it. You probably will never be able to see it, because you can kind of see it a little tiny bit. Like, this is how high up my eyelashes are, but you can't even see them. This is what I'm talking about. See, people been wearing fake stuff for so long, you barely, you barely can tell. Like when, yeah, like on here, I look like I have no eyelashes at all. But I thought about getting the lashes. I just don't know. I don't want to pull the rest of my lashes out. I'm like, I don't know how it works, so I feel like I'd be that one unlucky person that tries it, and then the next thing you know, I gotta like try to get them out. I know that you gotta professionally remove them and stuff, but they'll be like plucking them or whatever else. I don't know how they do it for real, but they'll do whatever technique it is that they use, and all of my lashes will be gone, and I'll have no choice but to do like the one to one lashes for some reason. I researched it. It looks really good. The people that do the natural ones, they look amazing. Things like that. But and I like for my birthday, I did some fake lashes. Let me see if I can find my picture. Probably don't even need to pull it up because don't nobody really care about seeing. But oh my gosh, funny story. I'm sitting there for my birthday getting ready. I pick out this outfit with a blazer with like this whole setup thing, and I wear makeup and I did not break out. This is like the one time I wore makeup and I did not break out. But I went to a vineyard and I got like a charcuterie board and some other things. Like, yeah. And I just did the whole thing. It was me and a couple people. And so we go there, and why is my hair? See, I feel like every time, no matter how I wear my hair, it just does its own thing. It's just gonna be what it is. But but I go there and I'm like, okay, when I get back, because I ended up staying somewhere else. It's like when I get back, I'm taking all this makeup off because I don't know how long I can go before I start breaking out. Because every single time I wear makeup on my face, besides right here, I literally break out so extremely bad. Like I'll get little fine bumps all the way up, then I get like a pimple up here, and it's just a whole thing. I just, ugh, yep. So I know this is so like you're like I do not want to see you scroll through your phone. I should do it like this because every time I look down in the video, it's always like weird. It doesn't look right. Ugh, I feel like I went past it. Oh, there it is. Okay, I have a close up one. I don't know if you can see this, but can you see that? I don't know. Am I close enough? I don't know. But you see how you could like really see the lashes? I put on some fake lashes that day, and it really took 10 minutes. Like I watch some videos and I can see the girls do the line and they just pop on the eyelash and they do like the little pinch thing. I don't know what it's called. I guess it's tweezers, like eyelash tweezers or something. Yeah, I'm still learning all the stuff. But they will do that and it's like, oh, put on your lashes in 1 minute. I was like 10 minutes. I literally got it stuck to like one piece of my eye and it got caught in the inside. I had to like, it was a whole thing. It was so messed up. I was like, wow, okay. Like, I'm gonna get it together. But yeah, I feel like it would be one of those things because it's just me. Like, I always have like a weird, maybe it takes practice. Maybe that's what it is because I'm not a real makeup person. I just do the whole like mascara, eye, mascara and eyeshadow thing. So I don't know, but I'm like getting all off topic and everything. But so I really do feel like it's really easy to get comfortable settling in a place that you feel like was normal in the past because it just seems like it just comes so easy. It's easy to take the ex back. It's easy to stay in that relationship. It's easy to just be with the person because they're interested in you even if you're not interested in them. It's easy to just settle for something because you feel like, and I don't mean settle like in a good way because there's some things that you have to compromise on. I mean like really your core values and your standards, things that really truly matter. Like it's things like that it'll make you feel like, oh, it's just so easy to do this. It's easy. Anything that easy, I don't want. Like I don't know about you, and I think that's what makes it so difficult because it's not that I can't do it, it's that I won't do it. And so for me, it's just so frustrating because people don't realize how much effort it takes. And I will hear people say things like, oh, yeah, you're still doing blah, or, not like Tranisha. And I'm just like, I mean, it's really not a bad thing. Like, I feel good being by myself. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. God's provided me with everything that I need. So it's not like I'm at lack of anything. It's it's just like it'll make me feel some type of way because I'll be like, oh my gosh, like it would be so easy to just do this, to just do the wrong thing, but I don't want to do the wrong thing. And so it's frustrating because you see people that are like around you lowering all their standards, and they're willing to just settle for anything, to just put up with anything. They're willing to take the easy way out. And you see them just like do good, or like not do good. You see them appear to do good even though they're struggling, even though they're hurting, even though they're miserable. But I still feel some type of way because I'm like, I'm just like, I'm doing the right thing, and it's still like I'm patiently waiting for whatever it is that God has for me, in my life. And it's not that I'm like frustrated with God at all. I'm just, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to say hope deferred again. I don't know. It's a weird feeling. It doesn't feel normal because idea of what's normal isn't something that's healthy. I don't know if it's just because of the personal stuff. Like I said, sometimes in life, when you're going through changes, the first thing that fails is your emotions, because that's the thing that's really holding you together. That's why you can see some people have everything and just there will be a change in their life and they just like completely like just have emotional breakdown or something like that, because your emotions are the most sensitive part of your entire being. And so when you are in the world and something's happening, there's a change that's happening, there's like a bunch of stuff that's coming at you, or you're taking on a lot on your plate, you can see people just end up having like exhaustion, or you could see people like have a mental breakdown, or you could see people like just go away because they just need the time or something like that, because it's a lot on your mental health. It really is. And for me, I just feel like maybe without the personal thing that I'm dealing with, maybe it wouldn't have been as bad, because it would have just been like, okay. But I will say the personal thing that I am going through makes me feel like I'm stronger. It makes me feel like I can handle it. And it's weird because I'm like, you know how you always say like the oldest child or like the oldest whatever always feels like they have to protect all the other ones. And so I'm like, I always feel like I have to be stronger for all the rest of them, all the rest of the people, and like my family or or my friends or whatever else. And so like I just take on that burden, and because I don't want them to have to, you know? And so it's like, it's that dealing with that personal stuff and being stronger for other people. And then, like, I guess because, a relationship is like one of the furthest things from my mind, but it's still on my mind. So that's the thing that comes to the forefront because it's easier to deal with than everything else? It's like the simplest thing because I know where I stand with everything. I have the answers for all of that. It's just when God appoints it. It's just I don't want to settle for anything else. Like I don't want to lower my standards for anything else. I don't want to take the easy way out. Like I know the answer to all that. But when it comes to the personal stuff that I'm dealing with, I don't know how any of that stuff is going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to continue to be strong in those areas. I don't know how I'm going to continue to protect other people. I don't know, I don't have an answer for any of those things. So emotionally, like when I was talking to my therapist about it a month ago, that's one of the things that comes forward at first. Like it just, it's the first thing that happens. It's the first thing that goes because it's something that's easier to deal with, if that makes any sense. That's why you see people when they are like going through something, they might say, oh, it's just this, and this. And it's so funny because I had a family member say something similar like this, like to this scenario. And I was like, I just don't understand why this person won't do this. And I didn't say like all emotional and stuff. I just said it in like I was definitely in my feelings, but I didn't raise my voice or anything. I was just like, I don't understand why this person isn't doing this. And my family member was like, you don't even know this person. Are you really upset with this person? And I had to think about it, and I was like, no, I'm really not upset with this person. They said, I really feel like because of all the other stuff that you're dealing with, this is just the easiest thing. And then I talked to my therapist and they say the same thing. And I'm like, yep, that's probably what it is because I don't barely know this person. And so it's obviously just a lot emotionally. And it's easier to just blame someone, or it's easier to just take the easy way out, but I can't do that. Like doing the right thing. I don't want to say it sucks sometimes because I don't want to make people like turn back and be like, I'm gonna just go do all the wrong stuff. Like, no, don't do that. I just, man, like, no pressure. Just doing whatever you feel like it is totally different than being by the book, walking the straight and narrow. It really is so different. Like, I'm trying to do the right thing, God. Like, you don't understand. It's so hard to just be good. It really is sometimes. Sometimes I'll be like, I could just. Then I'm like, nah, I can't do that. Really can't do that. Like, it might be easy, but it's not worth it. Anything that is worth it is gonna take work. That's just like all of those relationships. Like any friendship I have, if I'm just being a sometimes friend, it's not going to work out. We're probably not going to be friends for long, or they're not going to feel like they can confide in me or they can count on me because I'm only there whenever, every once in a blue moon. And I don't mean about constant communication. Like it has to be something at a certain time, at a certain date, all the time. I mean, like we are making an effort to communicate because we really do care about each other and we want to check in. We want to make sure each other are okay. Like, I check on my friends because I want to make sure that they're doing okay. I want to let them know that I'm thinking about them. I want them to know that, hey, I care about you. I might be busy doing all this other stuff, but I really do care about your well being. Things like that. And they do the same thing with me. They will do things like, hey, I just want to check on you, see how you're doing. I know you had this going on, and I just want to see how everything's going. And my friends really do check in and make sure, like, it's like it really touches my heart when they do that because I'm like, oh, they were thinking about me. I know. Ugh. Vulnerability. And so and so they'll do that. And then like even when it comes to like other things, whatever. I don't know. I don't want to go into like a whole long spiel down this rabbit hole that just continuously goes on, and it's just not. Uh, I feel like emotionally drained for real. Like I'm just over it. I know I can't give up. I just can't give up now. I can't. I can't. There's too many people who are depending on me. There's too many people who need something right now. And even though it would be easy to just lay down, even though it would be easy to just give up and just be like, okay, I just can't do this anymore, or just say, you know, forget it, maybe find someone else to do it, to just go through all the trials and tribulations, to feel all of the things that I'm feeling, to go through the things that I'm going through, to, whatever else. Like, even though it'd be easy to do that, I know I have to be the person. I know it has to be me. I know I'm the only person who knows what it feels like to go through what they're going through. I know I'm the only person who truly, like, I care in my soul for other people. Like, when I look at people, like, I don't know. Okay, so, oof, I'm gonna try not to get emotional. Always crying on these videos, though. Like, what? Really? Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna need to get a Q-tip, maybe something. I don't know. And now, like, my mascara is like, I'm gonna look like, what is that horror movie with the girl that was crying and there was like a streak of like mascara all the way down their eyes? I don't know if that would happen to me. I think it's still good. I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. But, anyways, so earlier today, I was, not to just go into detail or anything like that, but I was at the hospital earlier today for someone and checking on someone. And as I was going in there, I started talking to this guy who's an older fellow. And I had to say it like that because I don't want anybody to jump to conclusions and I want them to get the story. I don't want them to fall into like the details and all that stuff. So I started talking to this guy who's an older fellow, and I could just see in his eyes that I don't know. Like I feel like so weird saying this, but I could just tell something was going on. And I really truly care about people. Like, you don't understand. When I say I care about people's well-beings, I really, really, really care. Like, I don't just, oh yeah, they'll be fine. Like no, like what's really going on, you know? And like I really truly want to know. I don't like take 10 minutes, an hour, whatever it is that you need to do. Like, everybody needs somebody who actually truly sees them, and not just, oh, I just passed by somebody, whatever. It's their issue, like I really, really do care. And so we're having this conversation, and he's talking about like, I don't know if he had anybody that visited him or anything like that. We're just having a conversation. I'm asking like how he's doing, like how he's feeling, things like that, and what's going on. And he starts talking about the things that he used to do in the past and how he was a cook and he used to do like all of these things. And, we're really having a conversation. And then he goes, you know what? You really made my day. And I was just like, oh, that's like so sweet. It was just, it really warmed my heart, you know? And I'm not saying it because I'm trying to make it seem like I'm like this good person, because we all have good and bad in us, and I'm not perfect at all. Like I make a bunch of mistakes every single day. I'm always messing up. So don't take that as like oh, she's an angel. Like no, I'm not. And so so it just I really just really care about people's well-being. I really do. I really really truly care. Like I feel like there's a lot of things that people try to change in me that knew me in the past or whatever else. And I was always like a caring person. I always wanted to help people. I always felt like badly when I would judge someone. And I don't mean making an observation. I mean like when I try to prejudge someone, I would always feel terrible on the inside. And I just feel like it's because that was part of my purpose. Like, I need to be the type of person that can't just prejudge people. I really need to be in a place where I know what it feels like. I really need to be the type of person who's caring. Like, I might not be super vulnerable with everyone, and just allowing anyone to be a part of my life. But I feel like in order for me to do what I'm doing, in order for me to be in my purpose, I have to be a caring person. I have to be the type of person who is compassionate about everyone. I have to be the type of person who sees something in everybody. Like when people say they want to do something, I know this sounds weird. I always have to say that because people are gonna be like, bullish, bullish, bullish. Why did I say bull is? Whatever. Anyways, but they'll say bull. And so I someone will start talking about something. Like there was this person who was talking about being a cook in the past, and they were at this Halloween thing, and when they talked about it and their eyes lit up, I could just see them really being passionate about it. I could see them, opening their own restaurant. And I don't mean like a profit or anything like that. I don't claim to do any of that stuff. But I just mean that I really truly can see them being something better. Like every single person. When people make a choice to do something wrong, that's their personal choice. But when people talk about something that they want to do, I'm like, you could do it. Like, unless it's something like somebody's a horrible singer and they're like, they want to be a singer. But then, even then, with the auto tunes and like all the technology and then the voice classes and the coaching and all the other stuff, like, they might be able to be a voice coach. They might be able to work in the field and not be an artist, something like that. So it's just things like that just really make me like, when people start talking about what it is that they truly want to do, it really makes me feel like you could do it. Like you really can do it, you know? And people will say, well, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Write down a plan, write down a vision board, write down a business plan. What is your business going to look like? What is it that you want in it? what type of people do you want in there? Like a big giant vision. Then write down small goals. Every week you're gonna sit down and you're gonna have to stick to it, because faith without works is dead. You really gotta put forth an effort. If this is where God wants you to be, then you're gonna have to really be pursuing this thing. You can't just say you want it and then not put forth any effort into it. You say you want to be in this career. You say you want to have this thing in your life. You're saying that you want to get married or you want to be in a relationship. What are you doing? Are you in therapy? Because if you're not in therapy working on yourself, there's no way you're going to be healthy enough for another person. Because that person can't just put forth all the effort while you feel like you're perfect, because no one will ever be perfect. And God is gracing you and He has mercy, but sometimes people don't. And also, if you are really trying to be in a relationship, you have to be willing to change. I don't mean changing your core values or who you truly are at your core and your soul. I mean changing to adapt to life, because life is always going to be ever changing. You're always going to be evolving. And in order for you to be in a real healthy relationship, you are going to have to be willing to change for the better. You're going to have to be willing to change in certain areas of your life. And like I said, again, I'm reiterating, not changing who you are at your core, but you're going to have to be willing to change certain aspects of your life for your relationship to be healthy. If you are not willing to change at all while the world is ever changing and evolving, then you are not going to be able to sustain anything in your life. And so I just feel like it's really important to be intentional in all areas, to know what it is that you truly want. When you're saying you want to be a cook, when you're saying you want to have a business or you want to work with kids or whatever else it is that you're doing, what are you doing right now to prepare for that? Are you taking classes to learn like how to really deal with children that age? Are you really like trying to find out how you can create a program like that? Are you creating a business plan so you could think of different avenues, different things that you can do to really get into that field? Are you thinking of maybe doing a nonprofit? Maybe the organization could be something that is like solely like your sole focus is on like having like dealing with the youth so that they can grow into the person they want to become, or having a program for them so that they can feel like even though they don't have a voice, they have a way to be able to speak life into other people, or to be able to use their gifts for whatever purpose it is that God's given them on their heart. They could truly believe it themselves at a young age. So as they get older, they have no problem stepping into their purpose or being whatever it is that they want to be at that time or sometime in the future. And so, like, when you really have things like that that you want to do, I'm the type of person that I feel like anybody can do anything with the right amount of effort, with the right amount of intentionality. If you really feel like this is what you want to do, I will help you. If, like, you're my friend, I will do whatever it takes to make sure that you can stay on track so that we can get wherever it is that you want to go. If you're somebody who's a potential person, I will do whatever it takes to help you, but we have to be communicating. I can't tell you anything if I'm not talking to you. That makes no sense. And so, like, I just, I really truly see, like, as I don't want to say I see potential in everybody. Like, if you're just sitting around doing nothing, you're not gonna get what you want. You're just not. You can't just expect it to fall into your lap. You have to be willing to put forth an effort. That's in everything. You say you want your kids to be good, or you want them to be like like good children, or you want them to prosper in life. You can't be the type of parent who's talking down to your child and expect them to prosper. Some kids do it, but why not speak life into them so that you can give them an advantage? If you want them to be respectful, you're gonna have to teach them how to be respectful. You're gonna like you can't just say, "Oh, be respectful," and let a whole bunch of disrespectful stuff slide. You have to be intentional. You have to be willing to put forth that effort so that your kids can be the person that you want to raise them up to be. So that when they go into the world, they can be all the things that you instilled in them. And of course, they'll have their own personality, but your intention is for them to have those main traits, those main characteristic traits, those main core values instilled in them so that they can be the best person that they can be. So, this is long as I don't know what. I really did not mean for this to be this long. And I'm gonna like take a moment for myself. I'm gonna read the Bible. I'm about to read the Bible. I'm gonna drink some tea. I'm gonna just do some self-reflecting for a little bit just to kind of like take it all in so I can give my mind a break because I really I really feel like I've been dealing with my personal stuff in the best way that I know how. And I don't know, I'm just sitting around with all my family and I just feel it hit me all at once. I'm sitting there and I'm just like, and I just immediately just feel like so emotionally exhausted. And I want to be in a good mood all the time. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but I don't ever want people to see me as weak or to see me break or see me being like, I don't want to say vulnerable, but like in a weakened state. And so, like, I was just like, all right, time for me to go home. Because I can't. I just can't. I don't want to, put that kind of burden on other people. And so, yeah. In conclusion, it could feel really comfortable doing something that's easy to just lower your standards for that relationship or that job or whatever else it is in your life to just take the easy route. It could feel so comfortable just staying in that toxic relationship or unhealthy relationship. It could feel completely comfortable just staying in a job that you hate when you have other opportunities because you feel like I'm going to retire in 5 years or whatever else it is. I'm not saying if you're retiring in a week to just leave, like that's silliness unless God tells you to. And I mean, you got a real hard yes from God, not just like a, ah, you know, the sound that I made though. Mm. And so just really be intentional with your life. Even though it's uncomfortable, even though it doesn't feel good, even though it would be easy to just be with the ex or be with the guy who's a friend or, whatever else it is, wait on God because He has something way better for you than anything that you could ever settle for, anything that you could ever lower your standards for, anything that would ever come easy to you. Anything that I've ever gotten that easy gave me HE double hockey sticks. It really was a catastrophe. It was disastrous. It was the headache I did not want. And so I really just want to wait on God. I want whatever it is that God wants for me. Pray about it. Try to get my mind right. Set up some more counseling sessions. Whatever it is I got to do to make sure that I can just, man, like I feel so emotionally exhausted right now. It's just crazy. Every once in a while it's like the life just right out of my emotions and I'm like, what in the world? Like, I know I put a lot of effort into like other people and I know like I'm going through a lot of stuff right now, but goodness gracious. Like, it's just draining me and my body feels like I can move and stuff. And I ate so bad today. Like, I wouldn't say horrible, but I ate worse than I would. Like, I had 3 candy canes. I had like a biscuit. And I don't feel like drained, but tomorrow when I exercise, I'm gonna feel every single biscuit that I eat. Like, every single bad thing I eat is I'm gonna do like 5 crunches and be exhausted. Like, it really drains my energy when I don't fuel my body with the right foods. And so I'm just gonna be not feeling it tomorrow. I'm not ready for that. Like, whew. And people are like, well, you got to do a little something. And I do once a week, do something, I'll eat like a little bit or whatever else. We had Christmas Eve dinner and I ate a candy cane and I ate a half of a cupcake and I ate, I think corn and some other stuff. But I did like take a bite out of every single different flavor cookie because I knew I couldn't eat the whole thing, but I wanted to try all of them. But yeah, I wasn't supposed to have like 2 days in a row of something like that type of trash in my body. Like, and I don't mean trash like it's trash. I mean like it's delicious, but it's not good for fueling me. It's not good for the health of my body or whatever else. And so I just ugh, like right now I have a sugar headache because I don't eat a lot of sugar. And so those 3 candy canes and 5 pieces of caramel popcorn and 2 Lindor truffles and just really made me feel like I got like a quick headache because I don't eat that much sugar every day. Like usually I'm like using sweeteners. I know people are like kind of feel a certain type of way about that, but I do sweeteners. I do like sometimes agave or whatever else, and I'll mix it because I don't like to do regular sugar. I'll do honey sometimes, but that's only like if it's cold and I just put a little bit of honey and lemon in my tea, my green tea or whatever, and ginger. And so, ooh, and ginger is so good for you. Like, and it tastes delicious. And then not only that, but it makes your breath smell really good because it smells like you're like talking with ginger scents or something. I don't know, but it's a whole thing. And so, yes, just focus on God. I put online earlier today, and I can't remember what it says. I would try to, I'm not going to try to click on it because it's not going to come up. But I just said something like cherish the moment, and that, just I can't even paraphrase. I'm gonna say it all wrong, but I did put Matthew, I think it's 6:33, where it says something like focus on God and all his righteousness and all will be given to you. So, yes, focus on God and all his righteousness and all will be given unto you. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Don't worry about your friends, your coworkers, your potential people, whoever it is. Like, God's going to make sure that you know what's right for you and what's wrong for you. He's going to make sure you get everything that you need, not just what you want. And even though it might seem easy, even though it might seem like, oh yeah, I could just totally get this and it's just going to be so easy, that headache is not worth it. I promise you that. Like, you do not want to have to deal with all of that stress or drama or all the extra crap that you got to put up with because you decided to take the easy way. When really, it's so funny because really the easy way is more difficult. You don't have to deal with all the extra trauma. You don't have to deal with all the extra heartbreak. You don't have to deal with all the extra headache. You don't have to deal with that sense of peace being gone. But when you do it God's way, you got this joy unspeakable. You got this peace that's unlike anything that you've ever imagined in your life. And when you know it's God, it gives you a type of security that no one else will ever be able to give you. So, in essence, I would trade anything that's easy for God any day of the week. And I hope that even though it's hard, we're going to be on this journey together. Even though it's hard, because I'm not going to sit here in front like it's easy peasy and I'm just walking like, like, no, it's not easy. It's hard. It's difficult. It really, some days I'll be like, you know what? I don't know about this. But then other days, I mean, that's just for a split second. Then after that, I'm just like, nah, like I gotta do the right thing. Like I can't go back. There's no way. God, whatever you gotta do to stop me, I don't care if you gotta like throw a rock that hits me in the side of my face, like, wake up. We're not doing this. We're not going on this path. We're not about to just take the easy way out. Like, I know this seems easy. I know this person is a friend. I know this person is your ex. I know like these people are coming at you, trying to DM you, whatever else. But if it's me, I will give you a yes. Like, if it's me, I will make sure that you get all the things that you want. And there's nothing wrong with DMs. I think DMs are a good way to get to know people. I'm just saying, like, in general, I want to make sure that whatever it is God. I don't want anything that I wanted in the past. I don't want any of that stuff at all. In Jesus' name, like, please, God, don't ever let me be with anybody like that ever again. Oh my gosh. Oof. I don't care if you gotta make me single for the next 13 years, 20 years, 50 years, if I'm alive that long, God willing. But please, just in Jesus' name, don't ever let me be with anybody that I was with in the past, besides a few people that I didn't know were good people. And I'm not saying that's like a clue or a hint to those people. I'm just saying in general. And yes, so just faith without works is it. Reap what you sow. Put in the good work. Put in that work. Put in that effort. Be intentional. Do the things that you need to do so that God can give you everything that He ever desired for you to have in your life. And it will be worth the wait.